It's kicking in. It says we have an excellent connection.
Okay, now you're live.
Talk fast.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. All right. Let's make this happen.
All right, where am I at?
Oh, there we go. Let's see if we got our chats even going to come by. There it comes.
All right.
Oh.
Jeez, I did that. There we go.
There we go.
All right, let me get that off of there. New guidelines.
All kind of new guidelines here.
All kinds of stuff.
Oh, man,
right, so, how you been feeling this week?
I've been hot this week. It has been screaming hot.
It has. It's been the sun.
The sun has been almost unbearable.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been up in the mid-80s every day this week.
Yeah. It's been crazy. And when you get out in the sun, you can't, I mean, it blinds me. I can't see. Have trouble with it, and it's hot.
It's just hot.
Just hot.
Now, in the mornings is pleasant. You know, there's 65 degrees in the morning. Usually a little fog and everything hanging around. But by 9:30, 10 o'clock, you'd swear you're back in the summer again.
It's cool for 2 or 3 hours. They want to know how your eyes are doing.
They're about the same. I've learned that if I stare at something like, if I start looking at the chat, or if I try to read something other, this big black dot comes up in my left eye and it just floats around, and then it kind of swiggles around and goes in all kind of different directions until it dissipates, and it'll do that if I strain and look at something. So I try not to, as long as I'm not straining and looking at anything, I'm okay.
Excuse me.
You know, early in the morning before daylight, the left half of my eye, I do see these spider web things if I'm in the light. Now, as long as I'm in the dark, it doesn't bother me at all. But if I'm around a bright light, I do see that. But anyway, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
We was gonna get a new insurance policy this week, and we kind of like got shafted on that one, so we had to kind of like back away from it.
That was not a good deal. We don't even want to go there because that'll make us mad all over again.
That'll make us mad all over again.
So we had to deal with that the first of the week, and but so far he's been staying off the internet pretty much.
I have not been on the internet at all in almost 3 weeks now.
3 to 4.
3 to 4 weeks I have stayed off the internet.
If he comes in, he'll pick it up, look at it, and put it back down. Because within 5 minutes, like we're riding to town, he'll try to look at it and answer a couple of questions, and he's having issues. So he said, no, it's best I stay off the internet. And so lots of y'all's questions and stuff are not getting answered because I don't have time. I'm just sorry.
And I'm sorry. I cannot look at the internet, you know, and I don't, you know, I have to ask, is the Lord, you know, trying to talk to me and tell me something, you know, because my eyes have gone bad because of the internet, because I've spent so much time on the internet with YouTube and different things, straining and, you know, trying to make sure I get to everything. I'm up at 4 o'clock every morning, you know, trying to take care of the internet, make sure I get everything done. And I think God may be trying to tell me, look, man, you need to just slow down a little bit. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, that's what he's working on, and I'm trying to back out as much as possible. I'm trying to get our videos done, 2 to 3 videos a week if I can get them up. And I try to edit on Sundays because his first problems was about 6 years ago with his eyes.
Yeah.
He was doing all the editing.
Yes.
And from there, he just got to where he could not edit. He says, I just can't sit here and do this. I can't. And his eyes were bothering him then, so he quit editing. And for a long time, I've been editing for several years, but he would answer the questions, but that was about it. And so he's tried to keep the question part up.
Yeah.
And so now I'm trying not to edit as much because of my eyes. I don't want to lose my eyesight either. And so we're trying to say, okay, do we need to back off some? And so we just been kind of chilling the last, somebody sent a message that says, y'all all right? You didn't put up any videos. I said, well, we did. We put up a couple of 2 or 3 videos this week. And if you'll watch the community post, I'm throwing things in the community post when I can. I put up the candy corn in the New York Times.
Yeah.
And a lot of people said they couldn't get to it without paying. You didn't have to pay.
No.
You just, they asked for you to sign in with Google, Facebook, or an email. And if they send you something later, you just unsubscribe. That's all you have to do. But I tried to print some of the article, and I think I put it on, I don't remember if I put it on Patreon or if I put it on YouTube, on the community page, one of the two. And then I did an interview with Finding Genius.
Finding Genius, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was supposed to be Danny's interview, and it ended up that they wanted to interview me, and I'm like, no, I don't understand that. I'm not a genius. And so I did the interview, and I posted that in the community post too.
Yeah. So you have to keep up with us now different ways. You know, I mean, it's not like it was in the past. We're having to do things just a little bit differently, and it's not that we're not here. We are here. We're just having to learn to work things into our schedules as best as we can now. Like, this past week, we're still waiting on the soil sample.
Yeah.
We got that mailed off this past week, or this week, actually.
It probably Monday or Tuesday, I might get an email. Because it said 6 to 8 days, I think. We thought 2 to 3 weeks, but I think it said 6 to 8 days.
Yeah, so we're gonna wait and see how the soil sample. Because I mean, really, the reason we done it with the containers was to be able to help you guys out, because we want to be able to know. We had the one from Mississippi State that told us what our fields needed. So we said, well, let's go with the containers. Let's see what happens when we do it with containers, because it really, I think it's going to help a lot of people. Simply because a lot of people have containers and they really don't know, what analysis is really in your containers. We kind of guess at containers a lot. And if there's one thing that I've learned is that the containers really have to have a lot of Epsom salt. They need magnesium, because that's one thing that goes missing in your vegetables is magnesium. And magnesium is what you need to keep your health up good, keep your heart good, keep you mentally strong and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm kind of interested to see how it goes, because we want to be able to bless you guys and be able to have y'all grow some of the most healthy vegetables that you can, and fruits from containers. Now, I know a lot of you, do that, but it is what it is, But anyway, I mean, for those of you who maybe missed it, didn't get to see the video, this is the soil test kit. It's called My Soil.
And it's from Grower Solutions.
It's from Grower Solutions. And when you get the test kit and you purchase it, then you don't owe anything else after that. From that point forward, there's a free envelope that you mail with and all that. But anyway,
people were asking where the community page is. Miss Lippy's putting it up. The community page will be found on our channel. If you go to Deep South Homestead, the channel, and it should say video, shorts, then community page. So that's how you find it. Miss Linda Riddle, will you please send us an email? Explain to her why I'm telling her.
Yeah, we have a few of these soil test kits that we're going to be giving away. And Ms. Linda Riddle, if you will send us your information over here on.
I'll need an address.
She needs an address.
I think just name and address.
Yeah, a name and an address I think is all she needs. And we will actually send you one of these soil test kits. You sound like you're struggling with your containers and you could use something like that, so we will.
And it might help you decide, when the test results comes back, you may think you're putting a lot of nitrogen in there, or either you're putting too much nitrogen. It could tell you either way.
Yeah.
And it might help you decide what you need to do to balance everything out. How are the cows enjoying the hay?
Oh, my cows are loving that hay, guys. I ain't gonna lie to you. Whenever I put when I put those square bales in there, look, they go wacko over them square bales.
Hey, Amy in Japan. She's been with us for a while. I think she gets to pop in every now and then. Is there any other way to add magnesium to your soil besides Epsom salt?
Epsom salt's about the best way I found, and it's just this cheap stuff. You go to Walmart and get it in the pharmaceutical area there. You can get it in a small bag, or you can go to the feed supply places. A lot of them carry it in a 50-pound bag. Depends on how much you need. Okay,
so Eagle Lover Texas asked a good question. Can you find out the soil results on bag soil from the manufacturer? Yes, if you purchase a test and you test it, or your local.
No, he's asking, can you call the manufacturer and find out?
I don't know if you can call, but you could soil test it and find out, but I don't know if they would tell you.
I don't know. I don't know if they would tell you.
Because they have so many different processing plants, and like if they had one in Mississippi and one in New York, the soil they're getting in Mississippi is going to be different from what they're getting in New York. So how could they tell you exactly what your bag is? Because lot number maybe. I don't know.
One bright light says, Danny, do you till your soil before or after winter or both? I till mine before winter because I want my soil to lay there all winter, and I put a cover crop on it. I till it, put my cover crop, and this year I'm using a cover crop of tender greens, turnip greens, and dwarf Siberian kale on it as a cover crop this year. And I let it set all winter that way because I'm not worried about weeds and grass and all coming up through the winter. It's mainly just that. And then in the spring, we will harvest through the winter what greens we want. And then in the spring, the broadleaf mustard and stuff that I planted on it actually serves as a root knot nematode killer. You mow it down and till it in within 45 minutes, and then wait about a week before you plant. And it helps to control the root knot nematodes.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, one thing that you want to do this, or you want to wait, or?
Let's wait a little bit.
Okay. How much of the Epsom salt do you add to your containers? Never used Epsom salts before. Usually, to be honest with you, I'll take like 2 tablespoons and sprinkle it around in my container. And I'm using mineral tubs. And I sprinkle it around in the container, and I take a water hose and I'll water it in. And I'll probably wait about 2 weeks, and I'll do a teaspoon every 2 weeks for about a month. And then I don't usually do it anymore after that. Yeah. That pretty much takes care of it.
So what have we done this week? Have we done anything?
Oh, I prepared ground this week to get ready for my sugar cane, because we've got to plant sugar cane this week, and I had to push up a bunch of yopon trees. I'm clearing new ground to get a place to be able to plant my sugar cane. So we want to try to get some going at Pecan Grove, because here at Deep South, it hasn't rained. Literally, when I say it hadn't rained, if something don't happen soon, my ponds are going to disappear. Because now they're like 7.5 to 8 foot below the culvert. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of fish in those little small areas. And the only thing that's saving their life right now is that's a live spring that's keeping that fed.
And it's not just us. We have a lady that lives down the road from us that has she has a beautiful pond, and it is never empty. I mean, never goes down. She's got grass all up the sides and all. It's perfect every year. This year, she's probably at least 3 or 4 feet.
Oh, she's probably 5 or 6 foot because her pond is barely.
It is way down.
It's barely.
And then we have a neighbor here that his is usually not down hardly at all.
Right.
And it's several feet deep, low. So it's not just us. It's the area here.
Leslie Hare says, my garlic is coming up. Should I cut it back or just leave it and cover it with leaves? Leave it. Do not cut it back. Garlic can take a hard winter. Just leave it growing, cover it up with some leaves or something like that to kind of keep the ground maybe from freezing too bad. But just leave it. It will be fine.
Yeah, Jules says you can have the rain they've been getting. It's rained almost every day for the past week. He has to be in Texas or somewhere in that strip going up.
D. McCoy says, would sugarcane grow in a container? It will grow, but it won't grow good because it gets tall and the wind will blow it over really easy.
Foxy Roxy's in Poplarville and said their 2 ponds are very low.
Yeah.
Granny Annie said, I had 6 inches of rain last night. Power still out. She's on a blue eddy.
South of Dallas.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have a new power generator we'll be testing this week sometime. I don't know when, but have a video up maybe by next weekend on it. One I had not heard of before, but I like a lot of their features.
Yeah, every pond, let's see here, B. Gatlin says, every pond in our area is just one about dried up. It's terrible. I mean, it is really, and then Debbie Lofton says the ponds there is drying up. We cleaned one out. And, of course, Karen, she's in Fort Worth. She says it's been getting a lot of rain there.
All right. Cul-de-sac said they've had over 7 inches of rain this week, and it's raining cats and dogs now. It was 90 degrees a few days ago, but getting below 30 tonight. Had to turn on the furnace. Wow. Yeah, it's like a roller coaster.
Now, this coming week here, they're telling us we're going to be down to 30 degrees. We're going from like 85 and 86 degrees down to 30. And our high is only going to be like 50-something. I mean, so it's, and with wind blowing on top of that. It is, it's crazy.
John Forearm says, where is the water going? It's just drying up.
It's evaporating.
The sun was so hot here during the summer, and we got absolutely no rain all summer long. And we usually get showers periodically, and our rain content's what, half or less?
We're half of what we would normally have this year. Now, the only thing that's a saving grace for us right now is that in the mornings we are having really heavy dews and some mild fog. Now, we haven't had any kind of bad fog or anything like that lately. Now, New Orleans and all that south of us has had some really bad fog, but we have not been having any bad fog.
Pamela wants to know, have you worked on the grist mill?
No, I really haven't. I am not around here very much anymore right now. I'm having to work at another location, and I'm trying my best to get an obligation completed before I actually take time to come back to Deep South and work here on some things.
And it was pretty hot, and until it cools off, then we're going to be grinding our corn and making sugar cane. But it's got to cool off, guys. We could do it in it hot, but that ain't our fun.
If you do sugar cane when it's hot, the bees will take you over. And plus, we've had no rain here, and when you cook sugar cane, you're using a lot of fat pine lighter, and there's a lot of ashes and soot and sparks going out the chimney of that thing. I can't run the risk of starting a fire, and it is dry as it is here, because none of the branches here anywhere have any water in them. So there's nothing to stop a fire if it got started.
Yeah. So we have to be extremely careful with fire right now.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to read the chat while you were talking. What else we got going on? I'm trying to think. My week has been tied up with more sweet potatoes.
Yeah, she's been doing some canning
And
on
I
some
still
sweet
I've
potatoes.
got to do some more. I mean, I'm not going to get these out of the floor anytime soon. It's like, oh my goodness. And then I do have figs in the freezer that I need to get out and can those. And I have some juice from some berries and stuff that I need to be making something out of. We don't need any more jellies, but
Right.
I don't know. I need to make something.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
gonna have to do something with them because they've been in the freezer a while.
Oh.
Deidre wants to know, my celery and cabbage are a little yellowed. Maybe I need Epsom salt. Is that?
It just depends on. That's why with these soil test kits are so important, because they test the soil for how many different things was it we said on there?
It was a lot.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different. Let me see if I can get this up here. I want to see if I can get it where y'all can. Come on, find it. Focus, focus, focus. Okay, right there. That is what the soil test is testing for right there. It's testing for all these components. Most soil tests that you send in only test for the first three, the N, P, and the K. Some of them do the calcium, some of them do the sodium,
Yeah.
but very few of them do as many as the one from Grower Solutions does. Now, should I tell them what it costs, or I mean?
I'm not 100% sure.
But it may be different for different people.
Yeah,
so
I'm not sure exactly the cost, but yeah.
ABCXYZ said they did applesauce today, and Grant T said containers need a lot of water that they found. Containers, it depends on how you set your container up. If you put vermiculite in with your mix whenever you mix your container, and then your holes are about 4 inches up from the bottom of the container where water cannot go out the bottom of it, and you go back and look at the video we made on how to set up containers, you will find out we water ours very lightly, maybe once every day or two.
All right, let's talk about the Grower Solution sale right quick. That was the other thing.
Yeah.
It starts November the 3rd.
Which is a few days.
One day next week. It goes November 3rd through December 1st. So it'll go for about 3.5 weeks. If you use the code DeepSouthBF, you will get a $100 gift card at the checkout. That is a Grower Solution gift card. That'll be knock $100 off your order. We're giving away a $500 gift card over on Patreon. Danny and I'll probably sit down and do a video tomorrow and announce the winner. But that is also to Grower Solutions. They not only have high tunnels and things, but they have irrigation and all kinds of things. So if the winner is wanting a high tunnel, they can put that $500 toward the high tunnel. But if they just want to spend it on other items and they already say they have a subtype of high tunnel,
right,
and they want irrigation or they want anything else, they offer.
Whatever they
offer all kinds of
yeah.
stuff. Anything for high tunnels
yeah.
or greenhouses. So the $500 gift certificate on Patreon we'll probably announce tomorrow. And we're going to be giving some more soil tests away. Danny will announce those Monday. And what else? And free shipping if the subtotal at checkout is $2,500 or more.
Yeah.
Then you get free shipping.
Yes.
In the continental 48.
Continental lower 48. But you have to. You also have to use the code when you check out. You cannot come back and use the code or anything like that.
Yeah. All right. So it starts November the 3rd.
Okay. Chris Bedwell says, I hear it's supposed to frost in Summerall, Mississippi Wednesday. Do you think I could save my green tomatoes by covering them with tarps? Yes, if you keep the tarps off of the tomatoes, it's very possible, because we kept tomatoes through sub-freezing temperatures.
The only ones we really lost was the ones that the tarp touched, the leaves and the tomatoes.
Yes.
As long as we kept it airflow, but the tarp was over it, it worked really well.
Yes. So, I don't know, Chris, I guess, does he live in Summerall? He must live in Summerall.
I don't know.
Wanda's from Summerall. That's the reason I was wondering.
Yeah, my kids are in Summerall. If I named them, you'd probably know some of them. Yeah, there's going to be commercials because
that's
YouTube done a new thing, and in all lives now they're throwing their commercials in, and I have not found a way to stop that.
That's just one of them things that we have to deal with.
I've got several people looking for a way to stop the ads in the live stream, and so far nobody's found it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we'd have to do.
Yeah. But you're not going to miss anything because it picks back up, you know.
All right, Giovanna wants to know what kind of vegetables can I freeze or store for a year or more. I want to prepare now for storing food. Peas and beans.
You can store. You can basically store any vegetable
in the freezer.
For a year.
Some of them aren't as good as others.
Yeah, some of them don't come out as well as others do, but some of them store really, really good. And you can a lot of them after you take them out of the freezer if you need to.
Yeah. Lots of vegetables will store in the freezer.
Yeah.
But a lot will store in jars if you have them. You can can. What is the lowest temperature to can?
Peas can handle.
Peas can
now,
handle.
it depends on if you're talking about English peas or if you're talking about southern field peas. Now, if it's southern field peas, probably about 40 I'd say 40 would be about the lowest temperature they can really handle very well. If it frosts, if you get down to like 35 and there's no wind and it frosts, you're going to lose them.
All right, Lippy says she just found out how to take the ads out, but it has to be done during the live and it's complicated. Okay, don't tell me right now because I'd never figure it out.
Robert Brown says they're going to order their high tunnel next weekend. Get the Black Shade special. Black Friday special. Hey, that's what it's there for. We worked with Grower Solutions trying to make sure we could get this thing out for y'all, and they were more than happy to work with us. And I think that I think it's going to be a good deal for everybody. As a matter of fact, did our video come out on that when we?
On what? Yes. Yes, that's the one we're going to be telling the winners of the the soil test Monday.
I mean, is it the one? Has it already been up?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't get to see the videos that we do anymore, so I don't know.
I forget he has not been answering questions.
I ain't been on the internet in like a month, and I don't.
Asking me, and I'm going.
I'm asking her, did this video come out yet? Or have we done this one yet? You know, because I don't know. Oh.
It's funny. Yeah, I'm used to him seeing every video and answering all the questions, and now he's looking at me like he has no clue, and I'm like, oh, yeah, right. He's not on the internet right now.
Equally Wrong says, shout out to Troy Landry and the Swamp People team. Great gator hunting this year. I used to watch Swamp People a long time ago, but I don't have TV now, so I don't watch them no more.
Approximately how many weeks do you think we have to can our freezers? I've had a rough week canning. I guess they're trying to can stuff out of the freezer, maybe? All right. Now
yeah, you probably, that's a very difficult question to answer. With what's going on across the water, our life could change overnight, because it all depends on how we get involved in this theater of events across the water over there as to how bad things are going to get here.
Okay, so Wanda Weber says, it is going to get down to 16 tomorrow night. How do I protect my carrots? They're in buckets. What does she have to do to...
You need to take and put some kind of wire around them, or sticks or something other, and you need to put plastic around them. And the plastic will help to shield them, and then put a blanket over the top of them. Just
don't get them on the carrots.
Don't put it on the carrots. Just stick you some little sticks around it and wrap a piece
above them.
Wrap you a piece of plastic around the tub, a black garbage bag, anything like that. Stick it over the top of it, where the sticks will hold it up off your carrots, and then lay like a blanket or something over it, and you should be fine.
All right, Tina wants to know how can you keep peppers as fresh as possible without freezing or putting in vinegar? Well, I have a freeze dryer. Yeah, and that works wonderfully.
The freeze dryer is by far the best.
It works great for keeping your peppers really fresh-like. But the second best to me is I just chop everything and put it in the freezer. As long as you do that, mine come out as fresh. I just cook with everything. Now, eating them fresh, no. But I cook them. I use them for cooking everything. Oh, Darlene said something about that gorgeous moon up tonight. We were looking at that
last night.
It was beautiful. I tried taking pictures, y'all, and Danny and I don't take really good pictures in the dark, I guess. I deleted most of them. Finally kept one.
Somebody wants to know, have we done eggs in brine before? Have we preserved? Yes, we have, and we're really...
I didn't like it.
We really didn't like it. Do you can frozen veggies the same way as fresh? I mean...
Oh, okay. Once they've been frozen. What I do, say you have peas, because that's usually something that I will save, either English peas or field peas or whatever, butter beans, anything like that. I don't wash them or anything. I just put them in my bags and put them in the freezer. That way they are individual peas and beans. You can just break them up really easily. And when I want to can them, when I've got enough for a canner, I take those bags out and I put them in a dish pan and I rinse them in hot water and I get the trash out of them. And then I turn around and rinse them again in hot water. And that'll thaw your peas out.
Yeah.
You don't want to put frozen peas over in a jar.
No.
Just saying, don't do it. And if they're still kind of cold, rinse them in hot water the third time. Or you can dip them in hot water, put them in for 1 minute if you've got boiling water on the stove or something, 1 minute. Then you put your hot water and your salt in your jar. You put your veggies in there that have come to approximately room temperature and can according to whatever the ball book says.
Yeah.
All right, where are we at? Should we be planting onions now? That's Robert Brown. What kind do you recommend? Y'all, I took a screenshot. And let me see. I don't know if I can.
What do you take a screenshot of?
Dixondale.
Oh.
We got our Dixondale book, and I don't know if I can show it or not. All right. That might not.
Let me see if I can do this and hold it.
I don't know, but I'll try and put it in the community post or do something. But Dixondale has a good thing.
I'm trying to get it where the light.
Go over.
I'm trying to get where the light.
Right there. That shows where you live in the United States, what type of onion you need, whether it's short day, long day, or day neutral, and the variety of onion. But go to Dixondale's website. Y'all don't have to take my word for it.
Yeah.
Dixondale has this on their website, and they'll help you choose which type onion you want. I was going to post that on Patreon.
The lady a while ago was talking about English peas. English peas, the thing about English peas is, the plant themselves can take a pretty hard frost and a freeze, but once they bloom and get peas on them, they cannot take a frost and a freeze. So the plant, yes, can take it pretty cold, but the flowers and the peas themselves, no. They need to stay above 35 degrees. Okay.
Where are we at? What about doing pickled eggs? I've done pickled eggs. I don't like the taste of them. And Danny does. He used to eat them all the time, but he doesn't anymore. We both basically cut out eggs out of our diet except for in baked goods for the most part. Occasionally I'll eat one fresh, scrambled or fried in the morning or with grits. But
yeah, D. Foley said they've ordered their onions from last year from Dixondale, and they've had great results from their onions. I'm actually growing some of our own onions, but we got too late of a start this year. So we'll be ordering some from Dixondale's also, just simply because we don't want to miss our onion harvest. Last year I didn't think my homegrown ones was going to do anything, and they turned out to be beautiful. But I still try to order from Dixondale.
Okay, so Charlie Air wants to know, do I need to freeze my dried beans and corn? If it's dried beans and dried corn,
no.
The only thing you would do is put them in the freezer for 2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks.
Bugs.
Yeah.
And then you can vacuum seal them or whatever you want to do. Put them in Mylar bags, seal them in quart jars, just vacuum seal them. It wouldn't matter.
Tim Hardison says, how do you think the stuff across the water will affect us here? Well, that is a really complicated question because there's about 100 different answers. Like I mentioned last time, the fuel system, all of our fuel goes to the military first. Secondly, it goes to Israel's military. And then thirdly, it comes to us. So we could see rises in fuel prices. And then if we get involved in the ground war over there and we start backing Israel pretty heavily and we start doing a lot of the bombing or raiding in the theaters ourselves, then doing sorties and stuff like that ourselves, then what's going to happen is we're going to start seeing attacks over here on the grid, on water, all kinds of things we're going to start seeing over here, which will affect us drastically. And plus our food prices are going to go even higher than what they're already, what they already are. So it can affect us in a lot of negative ways.
All right, we've had several people want to know why we gave up eggs. Well, Danny did to start with because every day he was having some issues and he couldn't figure out what was causing them.
Yeah.
And he would give up everything except the eggs. And so finally he figured out that he can eat a scrambled egg, but to eat a fried egg or a boiled egg just does something to him. I don't even put boiled eggs into anything
I can tell you a little bit of it has to do with the protein.
Yeah.
When you scramble an egg, or you fry an egg, or you boil an egg, every one of those affects the protein ability of that egg and how it affects your body protein-wise. My body absorbs protein in different ways, and I can eat a scrambled egg without any problem whatsoever. But you fry me an egg, and my heart will go out of rhythm. Lots of different things begin to happen because of the way my body takes in the protein.
Yeah, and boiled eggs is just not our friend most of
right.
the time.
Yeah, boiled eggs is really bad on me.
I've never really been a big boiled egg fan, but I liked them in potato salad, salad, and ham salad and stuff. I love
boiled eggs. I mean,
but they mess with his stomach and his heart. And so we just cut that out. And so now I don't put boiled eggs in anything. We don't even boil eggs. And the last week or so, I knew I've been having a lot of issues with coughing and a lot of phlegm and stuff, and so I've cut out different things over the last little while trying to figure out what it was. Is it the coffee? Is it the coffee mate? Is it creamer? Is it the pancakes? Is it whatever I eat every morning? And I've cut everything out, and the only thing that was consistent was eggs. And so the last 2 or 3 mornings I've not had an egg.
Right.
And so we'll see and I did not have any major issues in coughing this morning. So we don't think it's actually the eggs that might be causing mine. It might be what I feed my chickens.
Yeah, we're wondering if it's the feed.
We're wondering on the feed.
Because we give our chickens a little bit of feed. We like to free range them, but we also give them a little bit of feed. We're wondering, is it something that's been added to the feed? Now, Terrence B says, have you experienced your chickens not laying eggs? And if so, what do you do about it? Our chickens lay too many eggs.
But now I didn't get any eggs because we have a creature that's found their eggs last night.
That has nothing to do.
No, they lay eggs.
They lay eggs.
But ours is the ISA
but now,
Browns.
I will say this: there was an issue with the government fixing it where feed would cause the chickens not to lay eggs. Let me just say that. I'm not going to go into any details about it.
Well, we use 22%.
We use the 22% because 16% is the only thing it takes. That's just what a chicken needs to survive. That has nothing to do with fact of them laying eggs.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me look down here and see where we're at here.
All right, so I want to talk a little bit about something that right quick before we get off, because we've only got a little bit of time.
We're about to run out of time here. We got to talk about something else here.
So we're going to talk about one of the best books, I guess, that I've comprehensive books.
Yeah,
that is
complete book out there.
And that would be the Encyclopedia of Country Living by Carla Emery. Danny's had the original book for 20-something
years.
And they sent me some of these books to give away, and we're going to give one away tonight to somebody in here. But this is probably the most comprehensive book.
Well, there was a time we were friends with her daughter.
Yeah, Esther. And Esther and Nick were on YouTube for a while, and we conversed back and forth with them some. And Esther actually wrote a book, and I have her book, and I read it, and I did a review on it, I think, on Crazy Days. But Carla Emery spent most of her life gathering information, going on the road and talking to people about living a country living life, and how to can and how to grow food and how to raise animals and fencing and chopping wood and building buildings, and it's got sugar cane and how to do sugar cane, how to grind corn. It talks about how to, it's got recipes in it, and worms, things like that. Measurements. I mean, even when you're cooking, lots of people don't know how to convert measurements. And I know, like, Lippy was saying something in her video about, it's all about the grams. Most people don't know how to, unless they got that little machine, they don't know what grams has got to go in, you know, and all that. So it has that. Giving birth. I don't know how to toilet train babies, you know, hospital babies. It's got all, I mean, she went into a lot of detail on everything. How to grow in the ground, how to grow in raised beds, how to grow, what else have we got in here? How to tan hides, making blankets, rugs, and stuff. Water, all kinds of things about water. How to take care of sick chickens. How to process your meat. All this kind of stuff. I mean, this book is just, I don't know. All I can say is, out of all the books that has ever been published, if you want one book, this is it. I'm going to just tell you. And I'll probably have a link. I don't know if I might have the link down in the description. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't read that. Fat Daddy Outdoor Cooking.
Yeah, he's
Fat Daddy Outdoor Cooking.
One really, really bad.
All right, well, let me write that down. And you send me an email.
Okay, Fat Daddy Outdoor Cooking. Send Wanda an email, and we will get you one of these books.
And next Saturday night, join us.
Next Saturday night, we will give another one away.
That way y'all got to stay and see what we do in order to give one away. I'm not sure what we'll do next time, but if we use the word give away in a video, we found out that the bots hit us. And I have to spend all my time trying to clear things that is not us telling you won. If anybody goes under you and it looks like the Deep South emblem saying you won something, it is not Danny and I. We will not do that. Ours has a check mark by it. Always know that the host of the show, if they make a comment under your comment, should have well, ours has a check mark. I don't know if everybody's does, but we're over 100,000, so ours should have a check mark by it. You're welcome, Fat Daddy.
You're welcome. Everybody keeps wanting to know more about this book. I'm going to hold this book up here so you get a good chance to look at it. It's done by Carla Emery, the Encyclopedia of Country Living.
It even tells how to make a mud oven.
This thing, it covers everything.
How to tap a maple tree.
She traveled across the country everywhere.
Building irrigation systems, making green manure, understanding earthworms.
Yeah, and look how thick it is.
Cannon.
See how thick this book is? This book's like
medicinal herbs.
2 inches thick.
What else is in there? How to drive a tractor.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many people don't know. How to live off the land, grow your own food, build a cabin, milk goats, understand the soil, make an organic bug spray. I'm talking plant a tree, how to graft a tree.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's in this book.
Now, you know, the older books don't look quite like that, but they have the exact same information in them.
Let me see if I can find yours right quick.
And if you can only find an older one, it's still the same book. You know, this is just a newer print. Wanda and I decided to give a few of them away. For the next couple of 3 weeks, we're going to give one of these away on Saturday night. And, you know, I think it would be a blessing and help people.
Let's see, this one is the 50th anniversary. And yours is the 35th anniversary.
Now, this is mine right here. Mine's the 30-something. 35th?
Yeah, 35th anniversary. So Danny's isn't even the original.
Yeah, mine's not. Mine's a 10th edition.
Yeah. And I don't know what edition. It's the 50th anniversary.
I don't know what edition that one is. But I'm pretty sure they're pretty much identical.
Yeah. So I know y'all will enjoy that book.
But anyway, we're also going to be Monday. If you watch us Monday, we're going to be announcing the winners of a couple of the soil tests that we're going to give away. And probably next Saturday night, we might give another soil test away.
We might.
We'll think about it. We might do it.
But we are announcing the $500 Grower Solution giveaway probably maybe tomorrow. We'll see. And that way they can use it during the sale, the Black Friday sale.
Ronald Beatty said, "Who wrote the book?" Carla Emery wrote the book. She spent many years working on this book.
Yeah.
Somebody said they just clicked the link and it was not found.
What link?
I don't know. They just said Margie said she just clicked the link and it wasn't found. But anyway,
I'm not sure where Esther is right now. I guess she and Nick still live in their.
They were in Idaho.
House.
They were in Idaho, last I heard.
They just totally stopped YouTube and went back to their life without YouTube. You know, so.
Yeah. So. It
is a good book for a Christmas
It's a good Christmas gift to give someone, because I'm telling you, you could sit down there for hours. When I tell you hours,
it's 900 and something pages.
Yeah,
you could read 3 pages a day all year long. And it'd take you a year to read it. 3 pages a day, and you would learn something every day. And I'm serious. You may not be into cutting wood, but I guarantee you, if you was reading about how to chop wood, it'd teach you something you did not know.
Right. I mean, they're not that expensive. I'm going to be honest with you. They're not really that expensive.
If very many people click on the link, I think I have it in our description. And that would be our Amazon link that we have.
Yeah.
That way we would get a little bit for our channel if you go through our Amazon link or whatever. And if you're
Okay.
going to order any.
John Foreman says, "Do y'all eat hot dogs?" No, we do not eat hot dogs.
We haven't had hot dogs in several years.
We haven't eaten a hot dog, and the last ones we ate were kosher hot dogs. There was the
Nathan's?
no, it was Hebrew Nationals.
Hebrew Nationals.
And that was the last hot dogs. Of course, we don't eat bread, or I don't. So.
And I eat very little.
And Wanda eats very little bread now.
Used to when we did live streams for lunch. Now this is about 4 or 5 years ago. We were still eating the Hebrew National hot dogs, and that. So you might see a video with us with the Hebrew Nationals, but that's been years ago. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just sitting here. I'm trying to. Grandmom Zoo Pick It Eat It says she's collecting the old Foxfire series too, folks. They have 5 so far. We have all of them, I believe.
Yes,
don't I?
we have.
I have all 12 of them.
Including the cookbook.
Yeah, including the cookbook. Yeah.
I have all of them plus the cookbook.
Yeah.
Danny started collecting them several years ago, and a couple of years ago, I decided to finish the collection, and that included the cookbook.
Yeah.
So we have all of it. That's a really good read too.
Yeah.
You learn a lot in there because these people, that's the way they live.
That's just the way they lived. Yeah, and they ate just plain. I mean, they didn't have a lot of this fancy stuff like we have today.
Yeah.
The Foxfire series of books is a very good series of books to have. They're loaded with information. Now, the wording in them is a little bit funny, but you find that, I mean, really, there's some good information in them, especially if you want to go back to going back to living off the land as much as you can. You'll learn how your forefathers did it.
Yeah. Total Dabbles said, I missed what you said about Esther when the ads played. Oh, Esther was on YouTube, her and Nick for a while.
For quite a while.
They were doing off-grid. They lived in Idaho, you said?
I think it was Idaho they lived in.
I think it was Idaho.
Yeah.
And then she had started her own channel, and then all of a sudden they just backed out.
Well, they built a home.
Yeah.
They showed the building of their home, and then once they got that built, I don't know if they went back to work or what happened to them actually. They were actually into theater, both of them. And I don't know if Nick went back to building theater props or anything like that. I have no idea of knowing, where they're at.
Yeah, the Foxfire books have gotten very expensive.
That is true.
Start looking for them in, like if you go in a secondhand stores and things like that.
Garage sales, yard sales, anything
old
like that.
Stores.
Yes.
You'd probably find them a lot cheaper than that.
Actually, a school, if I'm not mistaken, a bunch of students went and actually did the Foxfire books.
I will not have a cookbook available for a while. Maybe by Christmas next year, because I would like to add some new recipes and change the cover and do a third cookbook. And it would have all the old recipes, but I would add more and stuff and do a updated version. Somebody said checkbooks a million. Yeah. All right, so we want
Judy says prayers for Acapulco. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been on the internet in 3 or 4 weeks, but I do.
I saw one that was
the storm that went through there just tore that place up. I know that, and it is terrible what these storms are doing.
Yeah. Plus, they went in and
there's a lot of loot. There's a lot of looters and everything there too.
Anytime you have anything like a hurricane or something, the people that loot come behind, because you don't want to stay in your house if it's all damaged. So you probably would go to a friend's or a hotel or go somewhere and stay. and you can't be there to watch your damaged house 24/7. And the looters know that. They hit neighborhood after neighborhood, stealing people's stuff because they know they're not there right this minute.
Yeah.
Which Bibles do you recommend for our library?
A
good King James, number 1.
If you want to, if you can find the 1611, it's good to have that so you can reference back to it. But I do like the Jewish Bibles. I do like the Proper Names Bible. There's several of them that I've got like 20 different Bibles here. I mean, it's good to have a lot of different ones so you can reference between them to see what's been changed. And I do like the Hebrew Bibles. It's printed so that you can go back to the original manuscript, and you can use eSword is probably, you can download it on your computer, and eSword is one of the best sources that you'll be able to find so that you can compare scriptures with other versions and stuff like that to make sure the deity of Christ has not been taken out.
Chris, the link to the candy corn interview is in the community post. You'll have to go to our channel page, and it'll say videos, playlist, and then it'll say community. And you click on that community, and the post will be in there. I shared the candy corn interview or the paper, the New York Times, and then the podcast with Finding Genius. Both of them were shared this week.
Yeah.
Pamela says that Amazon shows 17 books in the Foxfire series. I'm not sure. I think we only have 12.
We only have 12 plus the cookbook. What is the code for Grower Solutions again? Teresa wants to know. Deep South Homestead.
No. Deep South BF, isn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Deep South BF, like best friends. Like BF.
I did not get to the post office today. I'll have to go Monday. Sue Miller wanted to know. She sent us some quints. I should have went yesterday, but when we were in town, we were in a hurry, and I didn't even think about going by the post office. And so I will go. The BF is only good through Deep South BF November 3rd
through December
1st.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darlene Wright says, please report, I'm healing and getting my energy back. Thank you, Jesus. Amen.
Cheryl O'Donnell said her brother passed away this week. Coastal Redwood, a really bad toothache, and prayers for Israel.
Southern Comfort Homestead says, do you like freeze-dried or canning carrots the best? I like freeze-dried ones the best myself.
Freeze-dried, I guess. Canned carrots are good for just opening and putting in a soup or something. Making a souffle, but the freeze-dried is closest to fresh.
Okay, Nadia says, please pray for me. Fever and lots of pain in both my legs.
I understand the pain in your legs. Been having that for a while. Have you ever grown a Cherokee green tomato?
We've grown a Cherokee purples. We've never grown a Cherokee green.
They were green to start with.
I was thinking to say they were green to start with.
Oh.
So. No, Thunder Chicken says, no, go to the post office on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I will try. Go Tuesday.
Yes.
Let's see. Thank you, Paula. She said it's fun to see the interview. Yeah,
we do need to. The one thing that is not being talked about is Israeli hostages. It seems like they've just been forgotten. So we do need to keep them. Of course, now I will tell you, they're probably fixing to go get them. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that. I mean, the latest information that I have is that they're going to go in there and get them. Or they're going to make an attempt to. Let's put it that way.
We want to pray for my grandson Christopher, my oldest daughter's oldest son. Fell yesterday and fractured his wrist, so he's looking at surgery, and he was supposed to be on the start of the basketball team. Tuesday was his first game. He's highly upset he's got to sit out 6 weeks.
Okay. Cam Lobes VTech says, Danny, what type of buckshot do you use for defense? I don't use buckshot for defense, mainly because there's not enough pellets in it to do the job I want to do with. What I use for defense is a pistol. You know, my 9mm Glock 19 and me are like best friends and have been for many, many, many years. And it's I use critical defense rounds in it. I have absolutely no problem with it. A shotgun, there's too much weapon there for an assailant to have an opportunity to hit the end of the barrel, to do anything. The pistol, you know, I mean, I've been trained in lots of different ways. The pistol can be kept close to the body. This thing will run around with your hand sticking way out in front of you. That's only in the movies. You don't really do that. So that's just a few things to keep in mind.
Dee said to remember her brother-in-law who had open heart surgery, and she's his caregiver.
Okay.
Poor guy.
Well, Dee's not. I mean,
she's a good person.
She's a really good person.
She's just gonna have to be easy on him.
Yeah. Okay. Lots of unspoken prayer requests.
All right. Yeah, so let's have our prayer and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Father, we thank you so much for the blessing of life that you've given us. Thank you so much for just blessing us in so many ways. And we pray for blessings in our life. Not that we might consume it upon our own lust, but that we might be able to bless others that are less fortunate than we are. And Father, that's one reason tonight. We ask that you look out up over the chat here tonight. Read those requests, Father. You see them all. And Father, there's lots of requests went up for many, many, many different types of prayers. Some praise reports. We're always glad to see the praise reports. And Father, the loss of loved ones that's been mentioned here tonight, you know, that's kind of grieves us. But the joy, you know, there is joy that can be found in it, for the simple fact that we know that if they knew you as their personal Savior, then one day in the not too distant future we'll be with them again. And Father, the ones that's needing prayers for surgeries and things like that, Father, you know, it's up to you to guide the surgeon's hands. And that's what we always pray, that the surgeon's hands will be guided. We have people who not feeling well tonight. Some of them had fevers, and one of them mentioned their legs are hurting and different things like this, Lord. I ask that you break that fever in the name of Christ. Take those leg pains away in the name of Christ. Father, just help them to be able to get a good night's rest. Wanda and I both know what it's like to lay around with aching legs and cramps in your feet, cramps in your knees and thighs and stuff like that. It happens to us fairly regular because we're getting older and we don't keep as much of the potassium in our body as we need to. And Father, we just pray that, you know, those that are out there having the same problems, that they'll be able to find some rest and be able to enjoy their night's rest. And Father, just, it's been a good chat tonight. You know, I mean, really, it's been a good live stream, and we thank you for that. We thank you for all that stayed into the live stream. Thank you for allowing us to be able to give things away, Lord. We like being able to bless people, and that's the desire of our heart. And if it blesses others in a way that can help them better produce their food, then it brings joy to us, Father. So we ask that you continually give to us so that we have to give to others now. Go with us, guide and direct us. Forgive us where we sinned against you in heaven. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. All right,
Okay.
I want to say something before Danny starts with his tip.
No.
I had somebody make a comment that was very ugly about the New York Times. Called them a commie rag. And that just kind of flew all over me. And I thought about it and I said, what if I did not do the interview? Because it was the New York Times. I don't have anything against them. I don't read their newspaper, but I don't read a lot of newspapers. And I don't watch a lot of news. But if I had not done that interview, I would not have gotten to meet Derek. And Derek and I had a great conversation. And the Lord put us here to reach out to other people, not to hide under a rock. So Derek and I had a great conversation. He did a wonderful job with the story. And then on top of that, Elijah came to our house and took pictures, and we got to meet Elijah. We would not have met him any other way, I don't think. And so the Lord blesses us by doing things like that, and we come in contact with other people. Plus, Derek told me the editors liked my sense of humor. So we don't know in the future what that might bring. And so I think people, the negative comments, just, y'all need to branch out a little bit and reach out to other people instead of being very negative. That was my thought on that.
Hey, 3 Mississippi. Good to see y'all tonight. I know y'all fixing to get some chilly weather up there. Hopefully you get a little bit of rain. I don't think we're going to get any, but I hope y'all get some rain, and I hope you can stay warm, because it's supposed to get downright chilly up there where y'all are. Yeah. The good old state of northern Mississippi.
Yeah. All right. They want a tip.
They want a tip. Oh, my word. They want a tip tonight. Well, the tip for tonight is get on top of your water supply. Because, guys, let me tell you something. Your water supply is a lot more valuable to you than you really realize that it is. The groundwater, not just in a certain few states in Mississippi, in the United States, but the groundwater in the whole United States is becoming contaminated. It's becoming contaminated with forever chemicals. It's becoming contaminated with salt. Salt is actually leaching underneath our whole country in many areas, and it is contaminating the actual water supply. So get on top of your water supply system. And if you're on this scares me. I'm going to tell you what really scares me is being hooked up to a municipal water supply. Because one of the activities of these groups, I'm having to watch my wording, one of the activities of these groups that is in our nation right now is to hit power systems. The other is to hit water supply systems. That's not just to stop the water supply systems, it's to contaminate it and poison it to take out as many people as they can. And if you're on a municipal water system where you get your water from a big tank sitting on top of a hill somewhere that supplies thousands of other people, I would seriously consider getting me something that can filter out certain chemicals, because all it takes is to hit one of those water tanks, and you don't even have to hit it. All you've got to do is tamper. The reason I say this is because we talked to someone who said that the water system where they at had been hacked, and all that's got to happen is they just have to hack the amount of certain chemicals that are put into that. If they overload it with one chemical more than the other chemical, then you can suffer water poisoning of some type in your body, and and actually, you can lose your life just simply by drinking your water out of the tap. Now we're on a well where we're at, and I'm telling you, it is definitely worth it looking into a water filtration system. Now we use Alexa Pure. Because it was a lot cheaper. It only needed one filter to do what the Berkey needed 2 filters to do. And if you have a Berkey, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. If you can afford a Berkey, that's great. We have the Alexa Pure you can go to our link, and was it My Patriot Supply? Mm-hmm. And they have the Alexa Pures there. Thank you, your daddy. I don't know, he doesn't have a question or anything like that, but thank you so much. But you can go to My Patriot Supply. Not only do you need to stay on top of your water, you need to stay on top of your food supply system and My Patriot Supply is an excellent way. Wanda and I order from them quite frequently. We try to get the things like the powdered honey, the powdered peanut butter, powdered milk, things like that are shelf stable.
This week I ordered
a lot.
I watched their sales, and they had a 1 week supply in an ammo box for $50, $49, something like that. And most of you can't eat. 2 people can't eat 1 week for $49. Right. It's kind of hard. At least you have something to eat for a week. And I ordered a couple of those, and then I ordered the bigger. It had veggies and fruits, and I can't remember what all was in it, but it was 117, and I think it's regular like 150, 65, 169, something like that. When they run them on sale, that way you have something. If you are not growing your own food, I highly recommend something like that, some type of freeze-dried foods that you can rehydrate, you can make into something, or you can just open and eat. But make sure you have water.
Okay, Mississippi Soldier 369, thank you. He says, my well water pH 4.6? That is very acidic. You need to get a water, is it called a water softener, to raise the pH of your water up. They're not hard to install. I've actually put them in for people to take the acidity out of the water, because the water where we live at is quite acidic. Where we're at. Is that 2 times?
Yeah, but that's something different. I'm not sure what that is. So thank you, your daddy.
Thank you, your daddy.
I'm not sure what they're doing, but anyway.
I don't know what's going on there, but
several people said they have a Berkey and they love it. The Berkey seems to do well, and I'm not sure who this your daddy is, but they keep throwing things up. Because both our fathers are passed, so
yeah.
It just says thank you. So I'm guessing it's just somebody doing the little emoji things. I'm not sure. I don't know how that stuff works, y'all. I guess they're just doing these things.
Maybe so.
Yeah. All right.
That's an awful lot of money.
No, it's not money. It's these things. See the difference?
Yeah.
Okay. We're just trying to figure out new systems. We don't know what all this is.
Stacy says, Danny, can you eat sweet potatoes that have split? What causes them to split? Yes, you can eat the ones that have split. What causes them to split many times is there's inconsistent water supply. They'll be too dry and then they're too wet. They're too dry and then they're too wet.
Charlotte Madison says, hello from in the deep south in Mississippi. We are deep south, so you got to be somewhere in our vicinity.
You got to be somewhere in our vicinity. We're in the Wiggins area. Just outside of Wiggins, so
they're just doing emojis. It's not really. I don't think that's money. I think it's just emojis, y'all. It's not $200, y'all. So don't think that. That's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
Somebody says they think it's a scam, and it's possible.
Yeah.
We have the Alexa Pure. I love the Alexa Pure, but I also have the Alexa Pure Picture.
Yeah, the one that you just pour the water in the top of, got the 2 little small filters on it. We also have that one.
It's not money, so y'all don't get super excited on that.
No, it's not. Nobody in their right mind.
That's not money.
Nobody in their right mind would do that.
So, yeah, somebody's saying it's equivalent to like $1.20. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
because
not
it's
much.
That thing that's in front of it there.
Yeah, it's y'all. It's not money. Okay, so we've got to go, and it's just somebody playing around with the emojis.
Yeah, yeah. If your pH in your water is that low, that's where cancer comes from. Cancer comes from an acidic body. So if you're taking in water that's really that acidic, you're setting your body up for problems down the road. Not only to mention your faucets in your house are corroding away, your hot water heater's corroding away. If you have copper pipes in your house, they're corroding away. There's lots of things you really need to get that looked into.
Okay. Amanda said she ordered some of the Frontier soups, and they got them in yesterday and had the beef stew for supper. and it was good. I ordered a few more of those also, and I tried the broccoli, and it was really, really good, so I ordered some more. I really like that one.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got to go.
Okay.
We've enjoyed tonight.
Yep,
and,
we have.
Not sure what all we're going to be up to next week, but probably at least 2 videos, maybe 3 next week. It's according to what goes on. We don't ever know in our lives.
We don't never
but
know.
We will do a video for Monday announcing at least 2 or 3 more winners of the soil test. And over on Patreon, we will announce the winner of the $500 gift card to Grower Solution.
Yes.
And maybe we'll be caught up. Hopefully. Thank you, Twisted Ponies.
Thank you, Twisted Ponies. You have a blessed night also. And guys, we will see y'all, hopefully before too long anyway.
And